Welcome, Parcells Middle School. This is the second part of 2 of continuing compromise. In our previous discussion, we were looking at the delicate balance, as it's called, between the free and the slave states. And in this delicate balance, it was important that the balance not be tipped one way towards the slave or one way towards the free states. And in this case, it all depended on the number of slave and free states. This number had to remain equal because, as we will see in this discussion, if it didn't remain equal and it tipped in favor of the free states could in fact then pass legislation to end slavery. And that's what we're going to look at now. The key to keeping the delicate balance in the United States of America rested in the Senate. And we're going to take a look at and just sort of revise this from previous discussions dating back to the beginning of the school year. The reason that the Senate was the place that legislation could be blocked was due to the fact that in the U.S. Senate, everything is equal. And it's equal because each state has 2 senators. And this equality is where if the states remained equal in the process of a law being made, from being placed in the hopper to the House, being voted on in the House with a committee, and then going to the Senate, if it remained the same, we could ultimately block legislation here. And this block is due to the fact that northern states, no matter what, were going to control the House of Representatives because the House of Representatives is based on the population. The Missouri Compromise, as discussed in the first segment, is evidence of this keeping the delicate balance. And the delicate balance is seen here with 11 free states, 11 slave states. And this delicate balance would also be kept in the Missouri Compromise by making Missouri a slave state and making Maine a free state. Thus, the equality would remain at the number 12. The Wilmot Proviso, which came as a result of the Mexican cession from the Mexican War, proves this delicate balance even further. This bill was a proposal by David Wilmot, who was a Quaker of Pennsylvania backgrounds, and he was opposed to slavery. And he proposed this. It passed through the House. It got to the Senate, but this bill was soundly defeated in the U.S. Senate. Thus, the bill was dropped. But it did prove everything the Southerners feared, and that was a national proposal to end slavery. The delicate balance once again came into play in the year 1850, and that was due to the fact that California was going to gain statehood, had its 60,000 inhabitants, and another compromise was going to be needed. This one would be nicknamed the Compromise of 1850. This compromise would have 3 architects to it. Rather than just Henry Clay, he would have 2 associates, Webster of Massachusetts and Stephen Douglas of Illinois. So Henry Clay will have 2 others to assist him. This is an intricate compromise, a little give and take for both sides. The most important thing to the South was attaining the fugitive slave law. And what this allowed for was the retrieval of slaves from northern states. Basically, slave catchers could go up there, obtain slaves, return them to slavery. Texas already became a state in 1845. So you get 15 slave states, you get the fugitive slave law, and they get that. California will become a new state, a free state, and free states will also get the slave trade eliminated in our nation's capital. So that's the give and take. Popular sovereignty becomes the fix for the future. The people in the territories of Utah and New Mexico, seen here, they will vote on whether or not they will be free or slave. This should then fix it for the future. Popular sovereignty would turn out not being the answer. The Kansas-Nebraska Act would later be enacted, and it led to the first state voting on slavery, Kansas, to bloodshed, fighting at Pottawatomie Creek